Hey guys, Josh from soccerreviewsforyou.com, bringing you my review plus on-feet video of the brand new women's Nike Mercurial Vapor 10 in the Women's World Cup colorway. Now inside the box they do include a string bag to go along with the shoes themselves. The string bag is Volt Yellow in color with black strings. You'll find a black Nike swoosh on one side and your black Nike football branding on the other. Other than that, all you're going to find inside the box, as you guys can see, are the shoes themselves. So we'll get these guys out of the box really quickly and we'll take a closer look at this very good looking colorway of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10 that just so happens to be a women's version of the shoe. Now when you hear women's version, a lot of people will automatically assume that if you're a guy you cannot wear these, and that is not true at all. Basically what Nike has done here is they've changed the sizing to women's but haven't changed anything else. The construction, the shape, the fit of the shoe is no different whatsoever. So essentially all you'll have to do if you do want to wear these and you're a guy is convert the sizing, which is actually very simple and something I'll explain right at the start of this video. So if you're interested in learning more about the women's version or the Women's World Cup version of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10, please stick around, watch the entire video. I'll go over all of the details. If you're interested in a pair of these for yourself, check out the review page on my website. It'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page you will find buy it now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick these guys up below their normal retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. And with that being said, let's get right into the review. To start things off, let's talk about the fit and sizing of the women's Nike Mercurial Vapor 10. Now if you're a girl, you normally wear women's shoes, you have nothing to worry about. Just follow the normal sizing that you would normally follow. If you're a guy like myself and you're looking to wear some of the Women's World Cup Nike stuff, you actually can, depending on what men's size you actually wear. The fit, the shape, and the construction of the shoe is no different. The only thing that they have changed here is the sizing. So it's going by women's sizing as opposed to men's sizing. Now normally in the Vapor 10, I wear a size 9 US men's. If you want to go to a women's size, all you have to do is add 1.5 sizes from your men's size. So I wear a 9 US in the men's version of the Vapor 10. These are a 10.5 US women's, which is the exact same size. So I added that 1.5 sizes and the fit is absolutely the same 100%. The only difference is of course the colorway. So the biggest women's size that they make these in is an 11 US, which would be the equivalent of a men's size 9.5 US. So if your feet are any bigger than a 9.5 US in the men's Vapor 10, unfortunately you're out of luck with all of the Women's World Cup stuff, because like I said, 11 US women's is the biggest size that they made. But again, if you're looking to go from a men's shoe into a women's shoe, at least for Nike, all you have to do is add 1.5 sizes, because they're not actually women's fit, it's just women's sizing. So as far as the Vapor 10 itself feels, very, very comfortable shoe. It's a tighter fitting shoe as you would expect from any Mercurial model. No extra space on the inside whatsoever. It does have that one piece design as well. That gives the shoe a very seamless sensation. For the upper being as thin as it is, it's extremely flexible on your feet and very, very comfortable. Minimal break-in time required with the Vapor 10 in general. Probably the most comfortable Mercurial Vapor that Nike has ever put out. As far as width is concerned, it is a tighter fitting shoe and it's not really suitable for wider foot types. So if you do have wide feet, definitely not the best option for you, and they're not really going to stretch much either. So the way they fit from right out of the box is the way they're going to fit for their entire lifespan. As far as sizing is concerned, I'm wearing, of course, a 10.5 US women's as opposed to a 9 US women's, because that would be the equivalent of a 7.5 US men's. So again, if you're going for the right size, from your men's size, add 1.5 sizes and you will have the equivalent fit. As far as the laces go, on my left foot I have the stock laces that come with the shoes, and on my right foot I have a pair of black and neon yellow chevron SR4U replacement laces. If you're interested in a pair of replacement laces for yourself, check out the website www.sr4ulaces.com. There'll be a direct link to that down below in the description of this video. Next, let's take a closer look at the colorway. Now, just like the rest of the Women's World Cup pack, it does feature those two primary colors of Blue Lagoon and Volt Yellow. Now, this does have a similar color scheme to that of the Women's World Cup Superfly 4. There will be a video on those coming soon, by the way. but on the Vapor it looks a little bit different just because it's solid blue. Now Blue Lagoon is a shade of blue we've seen on Nike soccer cleats before, but never in metallic form like we see it right here. And I have to say, it looks absolutely fantastic on the Vapor 10. We don't see enough blue Mercurials anymore. Now there was something about this colorway, because I'm not normally a fan of flashy colorways, that really caught my eye, and I couldn't figure out what it was, but I thought about it more and more, and I finally figured out what it was. It's this shoe right here. This is the Marina Volt colorway of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 4. The Vapor 4, in my opinion, is the best looking Mercurial Nike has ever put out. Again, that's based on opinion, not necessarily fact. This particular one is the SL version, soft ground, as you guys can see. Not the exact same blue, but a similar color scheme in that this is that Marina color, whereas this is the Blue Lagoon. They both have kind of like a shiny metallic vibe to them. And then of course the Nike swoosh is different, but you still have the combination of a metallic blue and the Volt Yellow, which I think looks absolutely fantastic. So you're gonna find the Volt Yellow here in the heel liner as well as the insole. The insole also does have the Mercurial branding in a nice metallic gold, which is a good little detail. The laces are blue, as you guys can see. You're going to find a white Nike swoosh with a black outline on both the front and back of the shoe, the Mercurial branding in black, and then on the sole plate you're going to find that it actually has kind of a sparkly blue finish to it, similar to what we saw on the CR7 colorways of the Nike Mercurial Vapor 10. And then of course the tips of the studs are clear, black, or Volt Yellow, depending on which one that you're looking at. So overall, really, really good looking colorway of the Vapor 10 in my opinion. Again, I just don't think we see enough blue Mercurials, and to have a metallic blue Mercurial with the white, black, and Volt accents, I think looks absolutely fantastic. So let me know your opinions on it down below in the comment section. Do you like how these look? Why or why not? And with that being said, let's move on to the tech specs so we can learn a little bit more about the overall performance. As far as performance is concerned, the Vapor 10 is a fantastic shoe, one of, if not the very best thin, lightweight shoe currently on the market. But of course, it has been overshadowed by the popularity of the Superfly 4, which is also a great shoe, but not necessarily one that's going to provide a more traditional Mercurial experience. Now, if you guys do want more information on the overall fit, feel, and performance, I'd strongly recommend checking out the detailed review on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description, and I'll also leave an annotation on screen to my playtest video of the Vapor 10 if you want to see these things in action. As far as what makes the women's version of the Vapor 10 different from the men's version, the answer to that question is absolutely nothing other than the sizing. This is the exact same shoe, exact same construction, exact same materials, no difference whatsoever. So the upper is made entirely from one piece of Teijin synthetic, which is very, very thin and surprisingly soft despite being as thin as it is. Normally when you get into synthetics that are this thin, they feel very plasticky. This is quite soft and just very, very pliable. It's definitely the nicest thin Teijin synthetic we've ever seen implemented on a pair of Mercurials. It of course is reinforced with an internal fused on support cage that you can very slightly see from the outside of the shoe. A little bit more difficult to see on the inside because I can't open it up, but it does do a good job of keeping your foot locked in place when you pull the laces tight. The support cage runs into the lacing system from the base of the sole, so similar to the Brio cables found on the Superfly 4. When you pull those laces tight, it locks your foot in place and prevents it from sliding around, even when you are making those quick cuts and changes of direction and putting a lot of stress on the sides of the upper. So extremely responsive, very lightweight. You get that nice thin barefoot feel on the ball and just a one-to-one sensation given the no extra space type fit that it does actually provide. The upper is finished off with a micro texturing that provides just a little bit of extra grip on the ball without adding really any extra bulk to the upper whatsoever. And of course you do have ACC, all conditions control, as a feature as well, which allows for really good grip on the ball in wet weather playing conditions, which is not a common characteristic for thin synthetic shoes like this. So wet weather performance, very, very good. It does of course have that one piece construction to the upper, so there's technically no tongue. It's just completely one flowing piece of material. The center portion is slightly different. It's more stretchy as opposed to the rest of the shoe. So it does allow you to get your foot inside a little bit more easily than what would otherwise be a pretty big struggle if this portion in the middle didn't move at all. But once you slide your foot inside, it really kind of has that nice compression type fit. And then when you add the extra tension from the laces, you're locked in, very, very secure, and it's a very responsive sensation overall. The Vapor, of course, does have a more traditional cut, a low cut in the ankle area, like you'd find from all past Mercurial Vapors, whereas a Superfly is of course a mid-cut shoe. Internal plastic heel counter, smooth synthetic liner with a decent amount of padding, considering how light this shoe actually is. They're actually very, very comfortable. The insole is fully removable, mesh liner on top, perforations throughout, single layer of foam, nothing too fancy, but it does get the job done. And then moving on to the sole plate and stud pattern, you're going to find the compressed nylon material here that is very, very flexible and a little bit thinner than what you're going to find on the Hypervenom line, which is a glass nylon material. So a very natural sensation when running in these things. They're not stiff by any means at all, and stud pressure isn't an issue either, even though the sole plate is quite thin. You can see it has a little bump through the middle there just for added stiffness through the midfoot. And of course the stud pattern, it's classic Mercurial. It's new for this line of Mercurials, but pretty much the same performance you've come to expect from this particular line from Nike. All bladed studs, very aggressive traction, really does help to kind of keep you on your toes a little bit. And if you're just looking for tons and tons of bite when pushing off in any direction, you're going to get that from this particular shoe. The Mercurial line in general, it's really what it's all about. And again, if you're just looking for aggressive traction, you can't go wrong with any of the Mercurial models. So that's pretty much it as far as what the Vapor 10 has to offer. Again, the women's version of the shoe is no different from the men's shoe other than the sizing. As far as weight is concerned, I thought we'd compare the weight of the women's Vapor 10 to that of the men's Vapor 10 using this scale in real time. So keep in mind that both of these shoes are in brand new condition and are technically the same size. This is a men's 9 US, whereas this is a women's 10.5 US. So we'll start off with the men's shoe, throw it on the scale, and you can see that they weigh in at 6.4 ounces, extremely lightweight. Currently Nike's lightest shoe, by the way. That is the equivalent of 181 grams. So remember those numbers, pull these off the scale, and we'll throw on the women's version of the Vapor 10. Again, technically the exact same size. They weigh in at 6.35 ounces, the equivalent of 180 grams. So there's a 1 gram variance between these two shoes, which is to be expected with anything that is mass produced. They can't possibly make every single shoe the exact same weight, but again, if you're looking for a very lightweight shoe, not only is the Vapor 10 going to provide that type of a feel, if you're kind of trying to decide between the Vapor 10 and the Superfly 4, while the weight difference isn't huge, the Vapor 10 is actually lighter than the Superfly by almost a full ounce, which, like I said, isn't super noticeable when you're actually wearing the shoes, but the feel that it provides is much more of kind of classic Mercurial as opposed to the Superfly 4, which is kind of its own unique thing. So again, if you're looking for something that's really lightweight, extremely thin, and very responsive with fantastic traction, the Vapor 10 is definitely a shoe that should be at the top of your list. Alright guys, that's it for my review of the women's Nike Mercurial Vapor 10. Again, if you guys are interested in getting a pair of these for yourself, be sure to check out the review page on my website. That'll be the very first link down below in the description of this video. On that page, you will find Buy It Now links with exclusive SR4U coupon codes where you will be able to pick these guys up below their normal $200 retail price. So again, if you're interested in a pair, first link down below in the description, go ahead and check it out. If you guys have any questions at all regarding the women's Mercurial Vapor 10, leave them down below in the comment section. I definitely will get an answer out to you. If you enjoyed today's video, found it helpful and informative, be sure to support it with a like. Subscribe if you haven't already for daily videos on all the latest and greatest soccer gear. You can find all my social media information down below in the description as well. And other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video. And as always, thanks for watching.